What is going on, everybody? It's your boy KJ here, and today we are going to be analyzing Tesla through the technical analysis. So let's get into it. Alright, so first things first, I'd like to point out the what they call the golden cross right here. So we've got the 50 SMA right here, which is the blue line, and we've got the 200 SMA right here, which is the yellow line. So essentially what those are, the 50 SMA is kind of like the price, the average price divided by the time period, which in this case would be 50 days. So this would be the shorter term. Then we got the 200 day right here, which is apply the same concepts. The average price in the last 200 days right there. So with that being said, we've got the golden cross right here on this circle right here. So essentially what a golden cross is a technical chart pattern indicating the potential for a major rally. So when a short term crosses against the long term, basically it indicates an uptrend, as the short term is moving faster than the long term. So yeah, as this happened, you can kind of see the stock kind of rallied up. However, it did fall, but it fell into our support line right here, which is a critical support line, which I would like to point out. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear my dog barking, but any trading that I do, it's kind of like my principle for the support or resistance lines: at least three touch. So this is a pretty strong winner here. Support bounce, support 2, and then it bounced, support 3, and then it bounced. So yeah, that was pretty strong right there, and it succeeded to bounce off those levels. And as of right now, it's still trading above that SMA. So with that being said, it's kind of like reaching a key level right here. I want to see if it can bounce off this SMA level right here, which is looking pretty. It's looking pretty strong so far. I believe it can bounce and rally up a little bit. So as far as the price target goes, we'll have to get in a little bit deeper for that. So let's look at the 4-hour chart. All right. So we can see a clear example of that bounce right there. Now we can also see this gray box, or another support level that I made right here. So it's been an area of support and resistance, and support, and then it bounced off the support very well right here, and especially this bullish candlestick right here, this very bullish candlestick pattern right here. And alongside those factors, we can see it's above the SMA. And another thing I'd like to point out is the VWAP. So what is the VWAP? So the VWAP is a volume weighted average price. So as opposed to the SMA, which is the moving average, the VWAP is calculated by multiplying the typical price by volume and dividing by the total volume. And simple moving average is just kind of based off the price divided by the number of periods. So the VWAP is kind of a good indicator of where a stock is leading up to. So if it's above the VWAP, then it's a good idea to go long. Essentially, that's what the VWAP is. So with that being said, it's currently above the VWAP. See this very bullish candles. See the very bullish candlestick right here. And also, I think I forgot to point out on the daily chart as well. You guys can see right here. You can see a MACD reversal. So essentially what a MACD reversal is. And we can kind of see the volume dying down. And we can see more green volume, which is pretty nice. So essentially what it is is every time there's a crossover, the blue, every time the blue crosses over the yellowish line, essentially the price goes up. So what it essentially is kind of like a indicator basis based off volume. So blue means more buyers, more buyer volume and whatnot, and then this yellowish line right here, opposite, which is essentially it's more sellers. Anyways, with that being said, it's a key factor right there to look out for, that MACD divergence, which is always a good sign. You know, every time we saw MACD divergence right here, so blue crosses yellow right there, blue crosses yellow right there, then we can probably see the same thing over here, depending on the volume. And speaking of which, let's look at their options volume. Let's look at their options volume for this week. So the most significant ones were the 12,000 one, 12,000 open interest on the 270. We've also got the 9,000 open interest on the 265, and alongside the 51,000 volume. And for the 270, we've got 47,000 volume. So basically, if the volume is way more than the open interest, then that's mostly a good sign for potential bullish movement in the soon future. And let's look at the other side, the puts, aka when you want the stock to go down. So let's look at the open interest. I mean, we can kind of see there's more, you know, there's more volume than the open interest, but not as much as the calls, which is basically, you know, your bullish move right there. So yeah, as far as the volume goes, then I'm pretty confident in the short term. Alright, so let's go back here. Yeah, so it kind of bounced off this SMA right here. It kind of bounced, which is a good thing. Alright, now let's look at the hourly chart. So there we go again, we got the crossover. But there is one thing that I do want to point out, which is the price target levels. So I believe one blockade that we're gonna have is a 262 right here. So alright, as you guys can see, the 262, it's kind of been like, alright, so it's acted as support for this one, and then eventually become resistance, and possibly resistance right here. So triple top is alright, so triple top is negative. It's kind of negative for a stock. Basically that's one red flag that I have for this, which is the triple top and the RSI as well. So as the RSI makes lower highs as the price tops, then that's essentially bearish right there. So as you can see in this time right here, Thursday, so we saw a stock, it hit this 262 resistance, and it hit 72 RSI. Remember those figures? Alright, so now right here, it hit that 262 again, and now we're down at 58. So what it's telling us is that it's kind of correcting the stock into a lower volume, I mean lower price basically. But if we get enough if we get enough buyers and volume, then that shouldn't be a problem. So if we burst past through this 262 resistance line right here, then I believe we have room to run up till 268, which is the next major price mark. So you can see right here, 268 has been a huge level of support, of resistance, and acted as support as well. So that's 268 is something that we're gonna most definitely look out for. But yeah, I'd be cautious. That's the only thing. Technical analysis wise, I'd be cautious of this area right here on a 262. Hourly chart, we hit a triple top, which that's a bearish signal right there. But you know what? Well, on the fundamental side, which I will get to later, Tesla is looking pretty good, and I really do believe in Tesla. And possibly there could be just a slight correction or consolidation in the soon future, but other than that, I don't see Tesla. I don't see Tesla going down any further than the small consolidation or price correction, or even just like a little rejection. So let's look at the daily chart again, or let's look at the weekly chart. So yeah, we can see right there. Been trading off this channel right here. Alright, and then hit the rejection right there. So that's the thing I'd like to look out for, the rejection area. But Tesla, with this very bullish reversal candle right here, alongside this big stick right there. So yeah, I mean, it's looking pretty bullish so far as technical analysis goes, but of course there might be some corrections or rejections. You never know with the stock market, and with the economy as well, which we will get into after the technicals. We have to consider all those factors as far as making a move on Tesla. But for me, I would buy this stock right here. It is a buy for me, but I'm just gonna personally I'd wait for Tesla to test this 262 level right there, and then after that point I believe it can rally up. Just like the stock market this week has been, last week has been rallying up so far. Let's look at the 15-minute candle right here. So yeah, this support level right here was a huge level. And then we've also got the VWAP, like I mentioned previously, the VWAP staying above that level. I'm in a short term. And let's look at a 5-minute chart. Also staying above that level in the short term. So the VWAP so far looking pretty good, but like I said, we can probably see a slight correction or retouch on the VWAP if it does end up getting rejected here, which that's the price, that's the level that I want to look out for. Well, it's looking pretty bullish so far. So we've got this huge bullish candlestick right here, and got a slight candlestick right there. That's 3 candlesticks in a row, which is usually a good sign of stock going up. So my plan for Tesla, if it succeeds to get past this level right here, I will be holding it long, and then I'll be keeping an eye out for the 268 position, which is our next big price target, as you can see. And then if it does break past that, then I believe this stock can, the sky's potential, huge potential for Tesla right here. Alright, now we're on to the fundamental analysis part. So first things first, I'd like to get started with the greed and fear index. So currently we're at a fearful emotion right now as a market, as an economy. So what that means, personally for me, I like being greedy. I like picking up stocks when others are fearful, kind kind of like get those stocks at a discount price. So that's kind of like the way I see it. But of course, there's gonna be other stuff I have to consider, you know. But yeah, that's it for the fear and greed index. We're currently at a fear. People are selling. People are fearful at the moment. So you know, I'm gonna try capitalizing off that. Alright, so on to the Tesla analysis. So let's look at the summary real quick. So performance outlook. So short term looking good, midterm looking good, and then the long term looking good, and then on to the analysis. So let's look at the earnings per share. So the current estimate for the earnings per share is 0.71, which is relatively low compared to the previous ones. So let's look at the previous ones. 0.99, 1.13, 0.85, 0.82. So yeah, 0.71 is pretty low compared to those, but that's not always a bad thing, because I see the actual, so estimate compared to the actual. So as we can see, Tesla either met those targets or they surpassed those targets. So that's a good thing. That this is low right there, because 0.71, I feel like that's an easy target right there to either meet or surpass. So that's that right there, and the reason why I think it's gonna surpass it. So first things first, we got Tesla. They cut off the US prices of the Model 3 in order to meet the delivery goal. So essentially, just to summarize this article, they basically lowered the prices of their vehicles in order to create more sales, which can lead to meeting their delivery goals. So I feel like that's a good thing on Tesla's part. You know, Tesla kind of did go down a little bit when they cut the prices down. The shares kind of fell, but you know, I feel like that's all for a good cause. You know, kind of drive the sales up and hopefully meet the delivery goal. All right, so onto the Cybertruck, which has been a pretty huge deal for Tesla itself for like the past couple of years. So this time it can be a, you know, groundbreaking. We can see a big move potentially, if only if certain conditions are met, which is if they release an announcement for the expected delivery date on the Cybertrucks. Been a pretty huge deal. So their earnings are coming up pretty soon, I believe in 11 days, 10 days. So in my opinion, they can do it this weekend or next weekend. The delivery announcement of the Cybertrucks. So with the delivery announcement, I feel like it can really, you know, help drive the prices up and everything, and kind of surpass the delivery expectations for Tesla. So yeah, it's got, as you can see in this tweet right here, got all those Cybertrucks lined up. It could be potentially leading to something very big. Hopefully we get an announcement this weekend or next weekend for the Tesla Cybertruck. It's probably most likely going to be next weekend for earnings. And if they do, in case they ever do announce that, then that's going to be a huge volume spike in my opinion for Tesla, which is a good thing. And like I said, it's been a big deal, this Cybertruck, for the past couple of years. So that announcement has been long awaited. Alright, on to the next one. We've got Tesla on the more financial side. So Tesla dominated EV sales and outsells all other EVs combined. So in my opinion, Tesla and EV is the future, and you know, like competition wise, there's nothing really that comes close to it. You know, it's pretty huge numbers, and with the earnings, I think that the earnings, they're gonna possibly report more. Hopefully they do. I feel like they will, especially with all the expansion that they've created. Which one of them I'd like to show is a Tesla in Shanghai. So that's a pretty huge deal for me, especially as a Tesla fan, someone that follows Tesla a lot. So I feel like that's a pretty huge deal. Shanghai, huge city, huge market in Shanghai. The Tesla expanding there, that's a big deal. Gonna generate lots of revenue and whatnot. Then we've also got one right here for Mexico. Okay, so that's another huge deal right there. China, Mexico, they're kind of just like expanding all over the place. And I've even read there was one in India that they were opening. So yeah, that's that right there. Tesla, just big company, making moves, which is gotta look at those factors. So that's one thing I like about Tesla so far, just like all the moves they're making. And expanding their business. Then last things last, that I like to talk about, just like little improvements that Tesla's been making. So they've been making improvements to their camera quality as well. So what can this mean? Just higher consumer satisfaction. So possibly slightly higher expectations for them, or higher delivery for Tesla. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up everything I've got for my Tesla analysis for today. So if you've made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. Yeah, like I said, Tesla, great stock. Personally, I'd buy Tesla, especially coming into earnings. I'd take the risk and grab myself Tesla shares, and yeah, that's pretty much everything I've got for today. Thank you very much for watching my video, guys. It's not financial advice, it's just my personal perspective and analysis on Tesla. So yeah, you guys have a fabulous day or night, whatever time you guys are watching. Alright, peace out.